Today's video, of course, about to be about us in Cancun. We went to Playa, we went to Tulum, but most importantly, I wanted to focus on the home buying process in Mexico. It was a long year. Can't believe it took a year. Finally able to get something in Tulum. Got a 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom spot over there. But I'm gonna go through the process first, and then I'm gonna try to get to the things and the spots and like kind of what to look for, what my process was. So first and foremost, there's a lot of stuff on the internet about, buying houses overseas. There's a lot of horror stories. There's a lot of good things, a lot of bad things and things like that. But pretty much for the last 5 years or so, been wanting to have like an investment somewhere. Looked in Miami prior to COVID, where it was kind of just right at COVID, but Miami hurricane windows and stuff like that kind of took me out of the process. Started looking in Dominican Republic. Actually found a place in Punta Cana that was super dope. 2 bedrooms, had a little pool on the side. Crazy, nice little spot. And it was being built, but it wasn't going to be finished until probably like 2 years later and stuff like that. So looking around, of course, you're finding something that you're comfortable paying. There's like straight processes to buying over there. I'm guessing you can lease. You can find money over here and then send it over there, or you can go, cover the finances 100%. Whichever route you want to go, there's process to it. And these countries have processes set up so they can make it easy for foreign investors. So the first one, just dealing with Mexico, because that's where my home buying process was, like all the way through. But from what I've seen, most countries in at least Central America area that I visited, they had pretty much like the same process. They'll send you out brochures of what the final build is going to be like. Make no questions about it. That final build, it looks literally exactly like the brochure. Like, they don't play when it comes to designing, especially in Mexico. Like, the architecture there, it's crazy. Like, what they put in those brochures is exactly what the houses look like. If you think they can't fit 50 pools into one location, I've seen it happen, and it looks good. But anyway, so we decided on Tulum, and we really liked the area. I think it gave us a balance of like nature, feel, kind of living simply, and the restaurants is good, the food is good, the natural surroundings is good, the people is friendly. So it was like all over, like it just kind of had every single thing. The town is a little underdeveloped. If you're used to paved roads everywhere you go, if you're not used to losing water or like having like what some may call their necessities, like let's say hot water, but you still have water. So if you're not used to things like that, I would definitely say like, there's not too many countries like America where it's 24/7. You get your water, you get your lights, and like you're just pretty much lights on water. But you can't live without those things being like, you can live without 24-hour electricity, as unpopular as it may seem. However, Mexico, for the most part, has 24-hour electricity. But the home buying process, though, the way the process is set up, you pay 20% to reserve the home, and then you pay 30% after 30 days. So let's say your down payment is about 3,500, or let's say your 10% is about 3,500 or maybe 10,000 or something like that. You would pay 5,000 to pretty much reserve your spot in a unit, or 2,500, whatever they say the reservation fee is, because some of these units are being built out like a year from now, 2 years from now, or you might have one that's currently available. That way the price is the price. But while the unit is getting built, they have different levels of discounts they will get you. But definitely talk to someone. Speak to a realtor. There's realtors there that handle the process. For the most part, our realtor handled all the process and telling me when the dates were, when the payments were supposed to be made, and things like that, which was good. You do have to wire the money over, which it's a little bit nerve-wracking at times, because you're wiring money to a different country, foreign address, like foreign banks. It's really just having a calm mind state and know like you have a realtor. There's laws in other countries too. Like countries are not lawless. They're gonna follow, some sort of protocol. But just double check on your realtor, the companies and things like that. But it's not something that shouldn't be uncommon. The next step of the process, besides the wire transfers and things like that, know the rules of buying from that other country. For example, in Mexico, you can't own anything directly on the beach. You have to go through. The government has to set up, some type of system and stuff like that for trust. So the property is essentially in a trust, so it's not even like your property. So another thing is reasons why you don't have to claim it, on your IRS taxes and things like that. It's in a completely different country. You pay your taxes there in Mexico, and the taxes to set up the trust yearly is probably about like $400 or $500 a year. And those are the only taxes that you're gonna have to pay on a yearly basis, comparing to the states where some prices could be about 3,500, 5-6 grand if you're paying taxes on a yearly property. The next thing that you have to know. So after you go through that process, send everything, send the deposit. They'll have a closing date. You send your final, and you're wiring all these information. Like I say, that's the only thing that kind of gives you like the headache. It's because you're wiring money to people that you've never met before. Get a lawyer as far as the real estate final transaction. Like the contract was entirely in Spanish. I had to send it to one of my friends back home who speaks Spanish to even interpret it for me. So make sure you get a professional, go to their office, make sure like they have a legitimate office. Your realtor will most likely recommend one. Do your own research, find out like what the prices will cost primarily, so that way you're able to say like, okay, the person that you're recommending me is paying reasonable prices versus paying double just because you're a foreigner, right? Another thing is a lot of the units, it's not uncommon for you to buy something that's furnished or for you to ask for a furniture price, because they know if you're a foreign investor, you're gonna need to put furniture in your places and things like that. For me, I wanted to do it myself just because I feel like I want to scope it out. And I think we have some things that we want to put into place too that kind of represents us. So we'll be able to go there and kind of feel that normalcy and not being in like a different surroundings. But you can opt to buy furniture. Some of the new builds come with furniture, so you'll get lucky there on that end. The prices fill up at these places very fast. So like your realtor is not telling you like, hey, this place is 50% booked. It's gonna stay like this. Everybody in the world sees these places and they're looking at deals and things like that as well to go through. So make sure you of course find something that you want. But if something is an investment, it doesn't have to be your dream property. That like no one invested. I wouldn't say nobody invests in their dream property, but if it's your dream, why would you want to eventually sell it? Because investments, eventually you pass it down or you sell it and things like that. So look at it from that particular scope versus, your dream home. But if you are getting your dream home, by all means, spend that cash, go ahead and, be great. But like I said, make sure. So after you sign everything, sign the closing papers, you don't actually get to the deed to the place until probably about 3 to 5 months later. They'll call you when all the paperwork is ready. You establish, that trust that I was speaking about earlier. They'll call you when all the paperwork is ready. You head with your lawyer, sign the paperwork just like as you was doing a regular transaction. Go ahead and sign that, and then you wait for your deed to get shipped to you, or the next time you're there, you go and pick it up. But like the moment you close on your property, what makes you feel better as far as waiting for that deed, you get your keys, you get your registration to your water bill, your electricity bill, and I think like for a whole month, water, electricity is like $100 a month on average. And as your realtor about these places, they'll let you know. They'll go ahead and tell you that information too. But the whole process, man, like even though I had a realtor, we're speaking different languages. I can't speak a lick of Spanish, and I'm in a all Spanish country, so I respect that. Her being able to communicate with me have some patience with people because they're interpreting a different language and you're speaking a different language if you do. So have some patience with them. Everything is not going to be as smooth as far as the communication, but if you ask the right questions, you get the right answers. And then make sure that you talk to various amount of realtors when you start. It's just like looking at everything. I know, like one realtor would say like, hey, I have all the answers for you. But I mean, if you really want information, you have to talk to several people to make sure you really just vibe with someone and they're able to carry out exactly what you want, and then go in there. The hardest part about this whole process was having patience to wait, as everything was nearing, all the date was clearing, the wire transfers. But like I said, the cost of the house, the taxes of the house, which would probably be about 7%, 6-7% of the final price of the house. Probably no, 4 to 6%. And then the trust and the notary fees, which is like 0.5%. It's like $400 or $500 for the original fees, and then you get into the thousands when you go establish the deed and stuff like that. But the hardest part was just being patient with the process and understanding that you're in a different country, different languages, and then you just have to really be patient. The place that we found was out of the city center, so it wasn't in the tourist areas. It's in like a little bit of a residential area. We liked it. Most important thing was the price of it. I think that was the most important thing, number one. And it's a 2-bedroom for the particular price, and you can't get any better than that. It's 2-bedroom, 2-bath. So we're gonna go ahead. We've been buying furniture little by little, but we've been going to set up the place, running around. People are super friendly. At least my whole encounter in life in general is, people are going to go off your vibe, right? Like, I've been to several countries and I haven't had an incident where someone has disrespected me or anything like that and had any problems with anyone. The only things the minor problems that I've had is trying not to be taken advantage of as a tourist. So like cab drivers, like I might go back and forth with you as far as like pricing and stuff like that may concern, but that's pretty much it. You stay cool, people treat you cool. When I went down to move, I had to use somebody's truck. Buddy, like, literally just took me. He got my stuff. He ain't even want anything. I was just like, hey, thanks for your help. The money I was going to take to rent something anyways, I'll go ahead and give it to you because you obviously helped me. He showed me where he stayed and stuff like that. People are friendly if you are. This is what I'm saying. But as oftentimes when we go to Mexico, we definitely work, but we also try to take in the scenery, learn about the environment, talk to people, and things like that. This part about it was a unique experience for us because we stopped in Playa and we only been there one other time, but it was just like a day trip. We went there from Tulum and then went right back to Tulum. But we stayed here for a little bit, spent the night here. It's a cool little vibe, a little bit more of a city vibe than Tulum, because Tulum is more like natural, more earthy. Playa had a little bit more to do and there was definitely more people. And then after, when we were leaving, we spent a night in Cancun because we had to go and finish out the whole deed preparation. So it worked out, spent a night in Cancun. I had never been to Cancun to stay. I always go through because Tulum is an hour and a half away from Cancun. Straight roads, straight drive, everything is paved and everything like that. One of the reasons why we invested in Tulum, I'm a photographer, Lana's a videographer, so I think it really worked as far as like, to me, like just getting inspired, and also she had like a bit of a connection there, doing her gigs and stuff. But I think it's cool. It's always inspiring going there because they're building fast. I just read an article about the train coming to Mexico that would transport you from Cancun straight to Tulum and take down some of that hour-long drive that you have to make. But that's pretty much it. Also, they're getting the airport later on this year or next year. There's been talks of that. So I'm really excited. Hopefully that comes to fruition, and then we can go from there. But appreciate you guys taking some time out. Here goes the video. The whole trip just in a wrap. And once again, we're about to go to, I'm going to Mexico probably in a week or so. So I'll be down there doing more content on Mexico. And then I got a lot of things planned this year as far as like trips and things, photography wise, to make sure I go handle. So stay tuned for that. But here go the video. Let me know what you think as far as like if you have any questions about the process, that anything as far as how we got the house, the process of buying, or anything like that, just drop in the comment, and I'll let you know as much as I can. And but yeah, definitely get information elsewhere. But I just have a first-hand buying experience, so that's my stake on it. But appreciate you watching, and y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. Take the shot. Alright, we out here in Playa del Carmen, in Mexico. I might go check out the pool to this Airbnb. And Milan's going through some things, but it's gonna be okay. See? It's gonna be okay, baby. Alright, good afternoon. We got here. We're about to head to Tulum tomorrow. I got shit falling out my pockets. I'm ready for some food. I just ordered some, what did I order? Some yuca fries, fajitas, carne asada. What'd you get? Milan got some chicken fajitas. The beach is nice. Yeah, chicken feet. I'm sleepy, so after I eat, I'm about to go to sleep, take a nap, and then get back out here and see what Playa del Carmen is looking like. It's our first time here. Well, second time here. We came here, we chilled a little bit, but it wasn't really like a Playa experience. Bob. What's up, everybody? It's a Sunday, and we over here at this coffee shop. It's called Cacao. Just bought a property in Tulum, so we're about to come, finish out the deed and whatever, furniture shopping. But we stay in Playa for, one night. We stayed off of 5th Street. The beach in Playa is amazing. Like, there's no seaweed at this time of the year, and it's June right now, beginning of June. The beach is nice. 5th Ave on Playa is probably where everything is. Shops, restaurants. It's pretty safe. I know there's a lot of things people talk about Mexico, but I felt safe since I've been over here. But we're about to catch the ADO and head to Tulum later. Hopefully we get a cool little Airbnb. And I'm not big into vlogging, but I'm gonna show you kind of what we do and kind of go from there. Milan is chilling. Let me show y'all Milan. That's her name in Mexico. And we're just taking in the day. It's about 8 a.m. in the morning. She got coffee. This is kind of how it looks. Everybody's chilling, enjoying their day. So we stopped around the corner, walking around 5th Ave at this place called Zitla Siba, and it's a good breakfast spot. Got some drinks, got some good vibes. I ordered some fruit, some passion fruit, like the regular normal stuff I get when I'm over here in Mexico. Milan got some a fruit plate as well, but it's a cool little vibe. I'm gonna take you around, show you kind of what the restaurant look like. Alright, our food finally got here. I got some fruit, some yogurt. Everything looks super fresh. The mango, let me see if the mango tastes good. It's like really ripe. Ripe ass mangoes. Some yogurt. I'm about to put it in with the chia seeds, eat healthy, and get my day started. Alright, so we headed back to the Airbnb after a long day. I mean a long morning. Really, we just walked to the beach and had breakfast. We headed back to the Airbnb. Yeah, okay. My ticket. What? Walking around Mexico.